Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. If you read the news lately, it really feels like cyber attacks are happening literally every single day. And, well, honestly, they are. We're talking thousands of times a minute. But here's the really good news. Companies are absolutely not defenseless, not even close. Actually, they have these incredible layered systems in place to fight back. So today we're going to explore exactly how organizations defend themselves. We'll look at the core tools they use, and most importantly, how human experts fit into that whole defense puzzle. Let's get right into it.
It's so easy to see those scary headlines and think, wow, a hacker can just easily bypass any system. It's a super common fear, especially if you're just starting out in cybersecurity. But are companies truly helpless? The answer is a massive, resounding no. They don't just rely on a single locked door. Instead, they build these highly sophisticated layered defenses to keep their data safe and sound. Okay, so here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover defending against cyber attacks, firewalls as our first line, endpoint protection, the SIEM, which is the security heart, and finally, the incident response lifecycle. Nice and simple.
All right, Section 1. Defending against cyber attacks, the big picture.
Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine a company's network as a massive, highly secure building, right? You've got your outer perimeter, that's the firewall. Then you've got internal rooms and the actual devices sitting on the employees' desks, that's your endpoint protection. And the whole shebang feeds into a central command center, the SIEM, which then triggers a structured incident response lifecycle if something actually goes wrong. Every single piece we're looking at here plays a specific, absolutely critical role in this layered defense.
Moving right along to Section 2, Firewalls, the first line.
So if you've ever wondered what a firewall actually does, it's beautifully simple at its core. A firewall is literally the first line of defense. Its entire job is just to sit right at the gateway of the network and filter traffic. It is constantly making millions of split-second decisions, blocking dangerous connections from the outside world while allowing safe, necessary communication to pass right through. It's the ultimate gatekeeper, really.
To put that into perspective, think of a firewall exactly like a vigilant security guard standing right at the main entrance of a huge corporate building, checking everybody's ID. Safe traffic, like an employee coming to work, is allowed right through, no problem. But if that guard spots a known threat, boom, it's immediately stopped in its tracks. This protects the entire network infrastructure hiding behind it.
Section 3. Endpoint protection. Securing devices. Now, what if a threat somehow sneaks past that front door on, say, an infected USB drive? Well, while the firewall is focused strictly on the perimeter entrance, the outside walls, endpoint protection is focused entirely on the inside. It's designed to keep individual devices completely safe. We're talking about the actual laptops, the workstations, and the phones that employees, and maybe even you, use every single day at work. So, what exactly is endpoint protection looking for while it sits on those devices? Honestly, it's incredibly smart. It actively detects things like malware, suspicious behavior, any weird or unusual activity, and no malicious files. If a user accidentally downloads something they shouldn't have, yikes, right? But this tool spots it. And here's a really important detail. When it spots these things, it doesn't just quietly block them. It generates vital alerts that are sent straight to human security analysts. Because you see, endpoint protection isn't just some passive scanner running in the background. It provides active threat monitoring and response directly on the device itself. Whether it's scanning files or doing pure malware detection, it acts as this personal, heavy-duty shield for every single machine inside the company.
All right, Section 4, SIEM, the security heart.
Think about this for a second. When a company has thousands of devices, you need a massive command center to keep track of it all, right? Enter the SIEM. Now, SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management, but you can just think of it as the heart of modern cybersecurity. Its core function is to collect logs, correlate data, and generate meaningful alerts. It is literally the central nervous system that brings all of our layered defenses into one unified, easily manageable place.
And the sheer scale of what a SIEM does is mind-boggling. Some process millions of events per single day. It collects data logs from absolutely everywhere. We're talking servers, firewalls, internal applications, all those individual endpoints we just talked about, and even cloud systems. It takes thousands of tiny, seemingly unrelated puzzle pieces from every single corner of the network and basically puts them all together on one table.
So the crucial point is, because it acts as the ultimate central hub, funneling data from the cloud, the firewalls, the laptops, right to the middle, it is the perfect place for human intervention. This is exactly where Human Security Operations Center, or SOC Analysts, log in every single day. They dive into those alerts to decide if something is a genuine, dangerous threat.
Which brings us to Section 5, the incident response lifecycle.
So what actually happens when an analyst realizes they're looking at a real cyber attack? Well, first off, there's no panic. Instead, they follow a very strict, logical, step-by-step process called the incident response lifecycle. Step 1 is detect, finding the threat. Step 2 is analyze, understanding exactly what that threat is trying to do. Step 3 is contain, locking it down so it absolutely cannot spread to other computers. Step 4 is eradicate, completely wiping the threat from the systems. And finally, Step 5 is recover, getting the business safely back online and totally back to normal.
While the technology is obviously incredible, this is ultimately a proactive defense driven by real human beings. SOC analysts manage this entire lifecycle. They are the ones using the SIEM to detect the threat, analyzing the data, containing the breach, sweeping it all out during eradication, and managing the entire recovery. It is a highly structured, super empowering process that ensures companies can survive and completely defeat these daily attacks.
Finally, Section 6, inside the SOC.
We've covered a huge amount of ground today. But all of this incredible technology relies on one absolutely crucial factor: the people running it. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder. What exactly does a SOC analyst do every single day? I mean, we know they use the SIEM, and we know they run the incident response lifecycle. But what does that daily workflow actually look like? What specific tools are they clicking on right now?
Well, if you want the answer to that question, you are definitely in the right place. In our next explainer, we are going to go completely inside the Security Operations Center. You'll learn exactly what a SOC analyst does every day, the tools, the tasks, the whole workflow. So, start your cybersecurity journey right now by hitting that subscribe button. Subscribe, continue the course, and I will see you in the SOC next time.